check and see if I could do anything. They restricted some on here, and I'm just trying to figure out what is you restricting me for. Facebook be bullshitting. Facebook be bullshitting sometimes for real, man. I don't know what it is they talking about. Did all this restrict me for this and restrict me for that, and then your feed gonna be you to the lowest terms. Like, for what? Cause I put a lady on there. It was her video, and she said she didn't want all them little girly toys and all that stuff. She wanted a real man. I believe that's what it was, because that was the only thing close to it. Talking about that's against the guidelines and all this kind of stuff to the community. I said, what? Because I didn't even get a chance to argue this shit. They just did what they did, as if they said what they said, and that was it. And they were like, y'all tripping. I had some hip hop video on there. Man, it ain't got real petty. I don't get what y'all talking about. It's like I ain't putting nothing on there or doing anything that seemed to be a problem. You know, like I said, y'all done got kind of rather petty, man, what y'all be doing. I tell you, boy. Like, you're afraid to put any damn thing on here. It's so sensitive here, sensitive there. I know what's really sensitive about what, because I had, this was last year sometime, and earlier up in the year, because I put a woman, she ain't have no top on, she ain't had no bottom, she was showing everything she had on here. So they, oh my God, and snatched the thing down and did all that to me. And then what's crazy is sometime later they tried to double dip on that and make me go through it again. I was like, man, your oversight. That was some other thing. Then it was, what was it? Something had to do with, it was the dance, right? Y'all know the one I'm talking about. They said, one team had red on, the other team had blue on, but they was two separate videos, but they was ran together. You know how they was ran together, and they said, "Oh, that was a violation to whatever." Like, whatever, man, whatever. I said, besides, it came off like, you look it up on the Facebook and you're looking for stuff, and then you just hit the thing and post it, right? And they hit me for, I was like, well, if somebody already put it up there, why didn't you snatch it down altogether? You know what I mean? It's like, man, y'all something else, man. Y'all just, you're full of it, man. Seem like all tripping. It's like, why would you go through all that to just try to make up some crap just so you can say something to me? You know what I mean? You just making up some shit just so you can say something to me. It ain't bothering you, it ain't bothering us, so, but you just making it to a business. You know how they do little kids at school. I'm gonna tell you this up front. Parents, take some of these things, your activities of your child, with a grain of salt. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because they be setting the kid up. If the kid is quiet and they mind their own business most of the time, they want to some kind of way try to see what, try to get a reaction out of this kid. They pick and choose sometimes, right? Kid might be very disciplined, but then they want this kid, that kid they target, to feel no different from all the rest of the kids in there. and make this kid just as much of a problem as some of the other kids that's in there. And it's like, well, that's them kids. Why would you do that? But they do that. They'll mess your kid up, and you try to, you know, you got your kid disciplined. You know what I mean? But they go get some of the worst ones. The other ones be like, they ain't with it, right? They too busy reading or doing something else constructive. But you see that one trying, damn, and then you'll send the other little silly kid over there to meddle with them every day some kind of way, right? Because I remember when I was coming up, they had little black kids that they made little pet monkeys out of. Oh, I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I ain't never sat up on no table, up on their lap and eat no damn candy. You know, oh, poor baby and rub on his head like a little dog or something. And little son of a bitch sit there and think he really special and shit. You know what I mean? So, or she, you know what I mean? If go sit there, fuck a kid, I mean. But anyhow. You know, don't try to understand your kids sometimes, man. They didn't start out like that. Sometimes they the ones who affect the kid like that. But then sometimes people don't have a way to show you that's what's going on. Others, they might know what's going on, but it's just something that happened and they're gone, unless they're asked, right? But it's possible they do it like that, and then all of a sudden, this kid, instead of being a disciplined and productive kid, it ended up being a goddamn troublemaker and a problem. You did, you know, you just watch what I'm telling you. If your kid was excellent over at this school, not no problem at all. But change to a whole nother school, then you get over there and all of a sudden you're around a bunch of ass kids until you ain't satisfied until you turn that kid that went over, that came from a whole nother school, once they read his record, the kid was never no problem until he got over to that school. They don't mention all the rest of that shit. They just make it like, oh, this kid is just a problem, period. Go to hell, I'm telling you right now. And back in the 90s, I'm going to tell you right now, you know, anybody that's 55 years old, 50-year-old or so, back in the 90s, I'm a witness, and they can attest to this too, that their children was going to them schools, man, and the kid was just excellent in everything else, right? And when I say everything else, I mean getting smart, talking shit, you know, sitting down, talking to grown-ups like they're talking to another kid and shit, right? Mouth is dirtier than the sailor's lips, man, you know what I mean? So when this happened, but the kid, when they discovered the kid couldn't read, he couldn't write, scratching his name on damn paper, you know what I mean? They said, well, wait a minute. And then they went on strike. The teachers went on strike and didn't want to teach the kids. They said the kids come there, they thugged out, you know. They didn't want to be bothered. They want more money to, you know, to be a teacher to these kids, right? They're like, more money, my tail. Y'all getting money any goddamn way. Ain't nobody gonna give you no more money. You ain't even do your job. And they didn't care neither, man. They said they wasn't coming to that school. They was scared, you know, them damn kids, man. And so they got some substitute teachers, man, to take the place of the ones that went on strike and wouldn't come back to the school unless they got a raise. And this was back in the 90s. I'm anywhere from, man, let me tell you. Now, this is Omaha, Nebraska. I don't know nowhere else, but I know for sure. North Omaha, Nebraska. You go and you get checked. Back in, anyway, through the 90s. Just started in 1990, all the way to, 99. 1999 now, that's what I'm telling you. And all those parents, I'm telling you this, I'm in the age of 50, so that was there and had their children going to school, ask them, they can tell you their whole story. You know, the kid, here the teacher knows what color drawers you wearing, you know, and there's some party going down on goings on. You dig? These kids, you doing all this yapping and talking, but you can't write your name. You can't answer none of the other. I mean, let them tell you their story. They'll tell you their story, and then end up, you know, a lot of them down there. You know, they trying to dress up in everything and go to court and shit and get their children back and all kind of shit. And then a little some bitch wanna try to get back to the hood through family members or friends or something. Yeah, it's boring because, yeah, they got your ass now. You go into them group homes and damn it, little white kids, that's where you think they got the little idea of leaving the tag on. Because they wear it once or twice like they want to and then take it back to school, say it's too tight or something's wrong with it, they don't want it. As long as they got a receipt, they take it back. Shit. They just keep it a goddamn stack. So, you know, I don't want to wear this no every day. I want to look like I got different clothes every day, and so there you go. The kid that damn once you get your ass in trouble, you done told her everything in your household, and they pluck you out, and you go over there to them, and you thought life was great. Whatever folks you with, they save the tag on the clothes, and they already wore it, then sported it, then it get to you. You know what I mean? Get to you, those are them so-called brand new clothes. There's a tag on it. I don't see what the problem is. Yeah, you still wearing a hand-me-down, or they done bought this for you brand new. With a little something that you get to wear it. What you gonna say? You only get worse. You ain't going back to your family. Just telling you. That's all I wanted to see first. Hold my shit don't work. So I'll be back with some more guitar play. You dig what I'm talking about? Some bass guitar and electric guitar. As you know, I am Mo Love. And this is my bass guitar, and we shall be back for some more bass chew and more sound and music theory.